You know how sometimes you're faced with a problem, and no matter what you try, it just seems to get stuck? You can't quite figure out why or where you went wrong. It's like there's this invisible wall in your head that's blocking your way forward. But have you ever stopped to think about the fact that our minds are actually capable of incredible feats? We can learn new languages, master complex skills, and even overcome phobias. So what is it that holds us back from reaching our full potential? One thing that I've been exploring lately is the idea that our mindset plays a huge role in determining our success or failure. But what exactly does that mean? Is it something we're born with, or can we actually change it? Well, one way to think about it is by looking at how our brains process information. You see, when we encounter a problem, our brain doesn't just take a step back and say, "Oh, I don't know what to do." Instead, it's like this internal debate starts going on: should I try this approach or that one? Should I be more cautious or more bold? But here's the thing, most of us aren't even aware of these internal debates happening in our heads. We're too caught up in trying to solve the problem right away, without stopping to think about how we're thinking. So what if you could actually become aware of your thoughts and feelings? What if you could learn to observe them without getting caught up in them? That's where mindfulness comes in, a simple yet powerful technique for cultivating awareness and clarity. Now, I know some people might be skeptical. Mindfulness is just a bunch of new age nonsense, they might say. But the thing is, mindfulness isn't about sitting cross-legged on a mountaintop or chanting Om Mani Padme Hum. It's simply about paying attention to what's happening in your own mind and body. For example, try this exercise. Next time you're facing a problem, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Don't try to analyze it too much, just acknowledge the emotions that are coming up. Are you anxious? Frustrated? Excited? By being more aware of your emotions, you can actually start to see patterns emerge. You might realize that whenever you're faced with a particular type of situation, you always seem to respond in the same way. And once you have this awareness, you can start to make changes. It's not about trying to fix everything at once, it's just about taking small steps towards understanding yourself better. So what if you could learn to reframe your thoughts and perspectives? What if you could see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles? One way to think about it is by looking at how we perceive failure. Most of us have this deep-seated fear of failure, but what if that fear was actually holding us back from succeeding in the first place? By learning to reframe our thoughts around failure, we can start to see it as a necessary step towards progress. But here's the thing, it's not always easy. In fact, it can be downright uncomfortable at times. But the more you practice, the easier it gets. And the rewards are well worth it. Imagine being able to approach challenges with confidence and clarity, rather than feeling stuck or uncertain. So what if I told you that there was a way to unlock your full potential? Not by trying to fix everything at once, but by making small changes to how you think and feel. It's not about becoming some kind of superhuman, it's just about tapping into the incredible abilities that are already within you. It's funny, because when I first started exploring this idea, I was amazed at how simple yet powerful these psychology hacks were. They're not about manipulating people or situations to get what we want, they're simply about being more aware and intentional in our thoughts and actions. Now, I'm not saying it's always easy. In fact, there are times when it feels like we're stuck in a rut, and no matter how hard we try, we just can't seem to break free. But what if that was actually an opportunity for growth? What if we could learn to see our struggles as a chance to discover new strengths and abilities? It's all about perspective, and I'm not talking about some kind of forced positivity or fake it till you make it approach. I'm talking about genuinely shifting your mindset, so that challenges become opportunities rather than obstacles. One thing that I've found really helpful is to start paying attention to the language we use. When we say things like, "I'll never be able to do this," or "this is just too hard," what are we actually telling ourselves? We're reinforcing negative patterns of thought and behavior, which can hold us back from reaching our full potential. So what if you could learn to speak more positively about yourself and your abilities? What if you could start to see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than threats to your ego? It's all about making small changes to how we think and feel. By becoming more aware of our thoughts and emotions, we can start to make shifts in our mindset that will have a ripple effect throughout our lives. But here's the thing, It's not just about changing our own minds, it's also about learning to see the world in a new light. When we shift our perspective, we start to notice things that were always there but had gone unnoticed before. Like what happens when you're faced with a challenge? Do you immediately go into problem-solving mode, or do you take a step back and try to understand what's really going on? By learning to slow down and observe, rather than rushing headlong into action, we can start to tap into our creative potential in new and powerful ways. It's not about trying to control everything, it's just about being more aware of how we're thinking and feeling. And by making small changes to our mindset, we can start to unlock a world of possibilities that were always there but had gone unnoticed before. One way to think about it is by looking at the concept of flow states. You know, when you're completely absorbed in an activity and time just seems to fly by? That's what happens when we're in a state of flow. Our minds are fully engaged, and we're able to tap into a deep sense of creativity and productivity. But here's the thing, flow states aren't just about being in the zone or whatever. They're actually a natural state that we can access whenever we want, by making small changes to our mindset and behavior. It's all about learning to listen to ourselves, to pay attention to what we need and how we feel. When we do this, we start to tap into our own unique strengths and abilities, rather than trying to be someone else or fit into some predetermined mold. So what if you could learn to trust yourself more? What if you could start to see your own intuition as a guide, rather than something to be ignored or dismissed? It's not about being perfect, it's just about being more aware and intentional in our thoughts and actions. And by making small changes to our mindset, we can start to unlock new levels of creativity, productivity, and fulfillment. But here's the thing, this isn't a one-time event, it's an ongoing process. It takes time and practice to develop new habits and thought patterns, but the rewards are well worth it. Imagine being able to approach challenges with confidence and clarity, rather than feeling stuck or uncertain. And that's what I'd love for you to explore further, the idea that by making small changes to our mindset and behavior, we can start to tap into our full potential and unlock new levels of creativity, productivity, and fulfillment.